How do you put a portfolio together if most of the work you've done is confidential? So as a medical writer, you might need to sign a non-disclosure agreement or some kind of confidential agreement. And I've done this before, so here's how to handle it. I recommend you talk about the process of creation, but do not include any specific details. And this is because that information that you've worked on for that business or client or company is proprietary information, and they've made you sign an agreement to not release that information publicly because they're investing a lot of money and time and effort into putting that information together or researching that very specific thing. And so this is very common in things like regulatory medical writing and also in marketing as well. So you're spending a lot of money into creating all of these materials for a very specific group because maybe you found a gap in the market and you want to support that group of people with a very specific problem. So I have had to do this in the past where I speak to the client and I say, hey, can I include some of this information in my portfolio? And most of the time, actually, they've just said yes. And whenever I haven't had the time to speak to them, or maybe the project ended a few years ago, then usually if you allow some time to pass, you can approach them and say, hey, I worked on this in, like 3 years ago. Can I actually talk about it now? And then sometimes you may be able to talk about it. So it's important to read those details in your contract as well. So I would say talk about the process, highlight your skills as a medical writer, and speak about what you did. So this could be something like doing a literature review or doing some user testing with the writing that you've done. So you've gone to actually ask people to read the information, do they understand it, and things like that. You could also talk about outcomes. So did you improve the health of people who were able to receive that information that you wrote? So being a medical writer, you do need to kind of go through these challenges and figure out solutions, but you can put a portfolio together where you do not have any client work in there. You can actually just self-publish your own stuff. So if you are really passionate about a topic, then write a blog about it, or write a short leaflet about it, or write an FAQ section, or make a video, or write a health script. So I recommend trying to think about other ways that you can show your expertise and your skills rather than depending on your client allowing you to share the work that you did for them.